Hello everyone, and now welcome to the second game I'm casting in this series between WFZ and Nicker. First thing I'll say though, this is really game 3 in the series. What does that mean? Well, it means that Nicker ended up winning game 2, and I don't know who's gonna be winning game number 3. Am I purposely doing this? No, I am not. I don't have the right version of Actuall, but I really wanted to cast this series anyways, and it also works as a good anti-spoiler in the end. Now, as things unfold, we're seeing Nicker spawn over here as the orange Night Elf on the bottom right-hand side. Meanwhile, we have the red Undead on the top left as things are getting ready to go. Now, what are we going to be looking at here? It looks like the Undead is going to be opening up with that same Death Knight strategy with Ghoul, so no big surprise there. He did have a lot of success with that in game number 1. However, game number 2, we'll see what's going to be moving on next. The Demon Hunter does end up picking up Wand of Lightning Shield, and that Wand of Lightning Shield actually can be very, very dangerous. If you can cast it on another unit that has a good number of hit points, that Wand of Lightning Shield does deal about 10 damage a second, which is essentially having a footman attack all of those units simultaneously. Now, it doesn't always work out that way, and things do kind of get lost in the shuffle as we're looking at the Demon Hunter, who just happens to miss a handful of ghouls heading back home. There's a mana burn, there's a death coil as we're looking at WFZ taking a bit of damage on that ghoul. Death Knight does his best job to try and save that ghoul, and it looks like, yes, that ghoul will end up being able to make it back home. Most likely a Nerubian tower inside the base. Nope, no Nerubian tower, but it doesn't look like Nicker wanted to risk it. Back over here, the Demon Hunter gonna go ahead and creep out this 3-3-3 creep camp. Relatively easy to creep out, but he just wants the Ice Troll Trapper in the center. That is the one that will be dropping the item there. And there it goes. Circlet of Nobility gets +2. And now going straight after this one that is ensnared. This is actually a little bit dangerous for him. Not quite sure what he's doing, as the Death Knight doesn't have any death coils because of all of those mana burns, making that Demon Hunter a little bit more, I guess, risky in his judgment and being able to just deal a little bit of extra damage. Let's see the tech to tier 2, Tree of Ages halfway there. Meanwhile, Halls of the Dead about halfway there as well. We are not looking at the same build that we saw from game number 1, as the Graveyard and Ziggurat now coming into play. Death Knight now taking the opportunity to creep out a lot of these creep camps, and the Death Knight doing a little bit more creeping than I'm used to. Here, I haven't seen that many games on Glacial Kingdom, and perhaps this is one of those chances where you're just trying to get as many items and try to get your Death Knight to level 3 as fast as possible. Normally, the real creeping gets underway a little bit later. All right, you can take a look at the Lightning Shield just eating away at the hit points of that Tuskar Sorcerer, and that Lightning Shield really making a big difference there. All right, there goes another unit, and it looks like the Sorcerer is going to end up falling, and you saw how much damage that one Lightning Shield did, and that was a great use of that Lightning Shield, also picking up Claws of Attack +9. So that Demon Hunter is going to be even more in the weeds, so to speak, wanting to take down more and more units. All right. Drops the Circuit of Nobility, picks it back up. No big surprise there. Watcher Ward is invulnerable, will be staying there for quite some time. Illusion simply walking around the map as the Naga Sea Witch quickly picked up by WFZ. Meanwhile, a Panda might be picked up here in just a moment. Panda, the perfect unit for that Breath of Fire to counter all of those ghouls there, as you now see them, Panda and Demon Hunter ready to go. All right, turn around, Breath of Fire. That is just an absolutely perfect lineup there. All the ghouls taking a serious amount of damage, and a Seal getting in the way. All right, Demon Hunter now trying to purposely put himself in harm's way, as the Panda may try to come back in with a Breath of Fire. There's a Lightning Shield, and wow, that Lightning Shield dealing so much damage. You can see that the Demon Hunter is trying to go after those units there. All right, the Demon Hunter in a little bit of trouble. Lightning Shield damage onto the Panda. Is the Demon Hunter going to be able to finish off any of these ghouls? That's going to be a big question there, as it looks like, oh my goodness, the ghoul does finally get taken down, as now the Demon Hunter is going to have have to really make a mad rad dash for it and try and get out of a very, very sticky situation, being forced to use a Scroll of Town Portal in order to head back out. There's a Breath of Fire, one last blow, so to speak, before all the units teleport back home. Now, that Naga was pretty much the clutch player there, preventing that Demon Hunter from escaping and forcing the Scroll of Town Portal. It doesn't look like the Demon Hunter is going to be buying a new one yet. Meanwhile, the Archer and the Demon Hunter making their way back into the center. Skeletal minions are there scouting out. As the Panda, caught in a very, very bad spot. No boots of speed on the Panda means that the Panda gonna take a little bit of extra damage. There's the Breath of Fire. Are we gonna get a mana burn? Yes, we are, as the units are now running laps around the field. So far, that Panda has been a bit unlucky, but then again, there are rather a lot of critters on this map. So the more critters on this map, you see that there are actually 4 here, and yeah, it doesn't look like Nicker really likes them at all, going out of his way to make sure that they're actually destroyed, thereby also giving additional skeletons. Demon Hunter chasing after a unit. Death Knight trying to get it in front, and it doesn't look like he's going to be able to prevent this. There's some slow poison, and if the Demon Hunter can get some more slow poison damage, and that Death Knight actually taking a lot more damage than he would really like. The Death Knight in a little bit of trouble there. WFZ trying to escape away, and the Panda comes in with a big Breath of Fire. Staff of Preservation saves the Panda, as the Demon Hunter now once more in full retreat. All right, Nagasiwa should be launching more cold arrows. Slow poison onto the Death Knight. It looks like the Archer may end up falling here. What is going to be happening? The Demon Hunter now getting himself in harm's way to try and protect the Archer. So far, the heroes of each army being exactly that, putting themselves in harm's way just to try and save the, well, I guess the lower army members. Now, what's going to be happening next? I believe a Lich will be trained up. We are going to be picking up an Orb of Corruption, and that's pretty much what we saw in game number 1. Now, overall, we are at about the 8-minute 40-second mark, and at this point, I think both of these sides are just going to do exactly what you're seeing here. They're going to creep out their corners of the map, try and gain a little bit of a level advantage, perhaps try and set up an expansion before, once again, just battling it out. At this point, both sides are trying to train up their units back at home. The obsidian statues, the destroyers, all of those units there. And if you fight inside your opponent's base, those units will be reinforcing faster than your units will be reinforcing. So that is the big reason for that. Ancient of War down to 54 hit points, down to 28. Could get taken down there. And it looks like, yeah, it will. It does get taken down. No repairs. That was a big surprise, as the Elder Shaman now taken down as well. Scroll of Restoration. A big scroll of healing and mana restoration for all the units here, as the Panda and Bears now joining up. Hunter's Hall. Ancient of Wonders. A handful of Moonwells here. 50 over 50 supply compared to 48 over 50. More and more just healing here. I'm surprised. Oh, nope, the Druid of the Claw is in fact in mana form, so he's just gonna constantly give rejuvenation to multiple targets. That does make sense. Did the Panda pick up an item that he likes? I'm not quite sure. Oh, Ankh of Reincarnation taken from that top unit there. Come on, that Tuskar warrior was down to 5 hit points. Just attack him and get him over with. However, back down over here, one Moonwell was taken down. In comes the reinforcements, and here we have it. The Demon Hunter is almost ready to go, as the fight now coming in. Drunken Haze. Are we going to see a Breath of Fire? No Breath of Fire, as the units are now starting to do a little bit of fighting. All right, Bear is in position. Panda in a little bit of a bad spot. There's rejuvenation again. Oh, no Staff of Preservation on that low hit point Bear there. Panda uses the Scroll of Restoration, finally able to get off of Breath of Fire, as level 3 now on that Panda. Level 3 on that Panda. Bear now gets taken down. No Staff of Preservation again. And if Nicker loses this game, it's most likely going to be because no Staff of Preservation on those 2 units. Those 2 units, very, very expensive. Panda now, or Demon, are now trying to run all the way back. Going to use some Moonwells. The full Moonwell was taken down earlier. That's going to give WFZ a lot more room to work with, as these units are not going to be regenerating and healing up nearly as fast. Nicker in serious trouble. WFZ sitting at 50 over 50. Nicker sitting at, what is, I believe, 37? 41 supply over 50. That is, well, a pretty big difference considering that much of the army at this size is comprised of workers. Dryad's not looking to back off. All right, it looks like, yeah, one Dryad did get focused back down over here. Another bear now trying to make its way out. I don't believe Nicker realized that his opponent's army is just that much larger and stronger. Crypt Fiend now taking a little bit of damage. There's a burrow. And that Crypt Fiend is just going to be able to regenerate those hit points and not really worry about all too much. WFZ pretty much is in the driver's seat on cruise control to win this game, unless he has any sudden detours or unless Nicker can really throw something in WFZ's path. All right, Naga Sea Witch grabbing that Tome of Strength, and we're looking at some strong, solid creeping here. Dryads hoping for a Creepjack. Not going to be able to do all too much, and now there's a Frost Nova, there's a Fork Lightning, Breath of Fire. Exchange of those initial spells as the units are just starting to fall. All right, oh no, Scroll of Healing quickly purchased as saving a low hit point Ghoul. The Ghoul still gets taken down. Roar now picked up, but however, that's just going to get devoured by the Destroyer in a matter of seconds. Dryad's hoping to finish off a Destroyer. It looks like the Destroyer is going to be able to make it at 2 hit points. No. Finally gets plucked out of the sky. Meanwhile, Druid of the Claw down to 17 hit points. It gets taken down. All right, Mana Burn. Lich down to 35 hit points. Lich gets taken down. All right, it looks like a toll or some sort of healing item was tried to get transferred. It looks like a Potion of Greater Healing that was tried to transfer from the Death Knight over to the Lich, got dropped on the ground and picked up by the Demon Hunter. What a big, big play that was. And Nicker lucked out. Yeah, those split-second timings, the game of seconds, and that's what happens when you lose that game of seconds right there. All right, that Druid of the Claw really needs to rejuvenate himself before he tries to engage anywhere. All right, is he going to rejuvenate the Demon Hunter first? Yes, he is. Rejuvenating that Demon Hunter, taking down that Blue Drake. There it goes. Pop. Health Stone now being left behind. That's going to be picked up by the Panda most likely. And what we needed to see in order for Nicker to make a big play, it has actually happened. All right, rejuvenation. This fountain of health or fountain of mana, pretty much a fountain of health considering you have a Druid of the Claw right here. Slippers of agility, why not pick it up as well? Add an additional bit of armor, and no real reason not to. As the Druid of the Claw back up to full, and let's see what's going to be happening next. All right, Druid of the Claw not going back into bear form. Back over here, even more creeping. So if this creep camp gets crept out by the Panda and company, the Demon Hunter and the Panda will then be taking a very sizable lead. It's going to be a mad rush for WFZ to make its way back in. 50 over 60 or 56 over 60 supply as the fight is going and raging on. Can the Demon Hunter finish off the Shaman? Shaman gonna get taken down. What item is it? It's a stone token. Oh, is it gonna get picked up in time? Panda needs to run over to grab it. And that stone token is absolutely huge as it cannot be devoured by the Destroyers. Perfect item there. Scroll of Town Portal, Breath of Fire. Panda needs to survive, uses the Potion of Healing, and does exactly that. Lucking out very big. If that Panda had fallen, the Ankh of Reincarnation would have activated. The Scroll of Town Portal would have left the Panda there to resurrect by himself, and he would have died again. That would have been a huge, huge loss considering everything, as we're now looking at the Druids of the Claw, hoping to heal back up the rest of the units. You can see them. They're the ones gathering the mana. There's a full Moonwell down over here. It looks like, is he going to drink from it? Yes, oh wow, he drained all of that mana. And now we're going to be making our way over here to the top right. There you have Ancients of Wind attempting, or will be training up those hippogriffs to try and handle all of those frostworms that we're currently looking at. Meanwhile, Demon Hunter Panda almost at level 4, just 5 experience shy, a little bit late, gets to level 4 off of a Dust of Appearance to reveal a Shade. A big, big deal there, as we are now moving on into the next fight. 63 over 70 supply compared to 48 over 70. don't think that Nicker has enough gas in the tank to really finish off such a big army size difference, but we'll see. All right, let's see. Death Knight now making its way in. Lich making its way back down. Who has the better items? The Demon Hunter with the stone token and being able to get an additional stun in, that should be a huge difference. The fact that so many units are actually immune to magic is going to make it very difficult. The destroyers, these frost worms not going to be able to do any damage. The only real things you have to worry about are ghouls and crypt fiends, and those can fall extremely quickly, especially considering the stone golem has the right exact attack type and is immune to magic as well. All right, hippogriffs standing off to the side, and you can see the frost worms going straight for them. All right, we're going to be starting to see an engagement. Are we going to see the Ancient of Wind? All right, a couple of webs down as we're now still trying to chase after those targets. Frost worms, hippogriffs getting taken down relatively quickly, but they are not getting focused right now, and that could be a big deal. Demon Hunter now trying to push through. He is getting rejuvenated a little bit, but a huge Frost Nova Fork Lightning takes him down, even though he had an all-important health stone. So the health stone was not used. The Frost Nova Fork Lightning Death Coil 1, 2, 3 was more than enough, and I think WFZ will end up taking this game, even though there was so many mistakes but on his side. All right, before I say that, are any Frost Worms going to end up falling? That is going to be the big key point there. Dryads, the Hippogriff not turning around to take down a 58 hit point unit. Panda now low, and I think that is pretty much going to be GG. That summoned Rock Golem really not being bothered. Panda now falls at level 4. The Stone Golem is just the only thing that can really do much of anything at this point. The Rock Golem, the Stone Token Rock Golem there. Death Knight now chasing back the other way. There is a boulder to the head, stunning that Death Knight momentarily. Death Knight wanting to finish off this Druid of the Claw, should get to level 5. There it goes. And I am going to be calling this. There's not much that can be done. All right, are we seeing Resurrection on those heroes? Yes, resurrected the Demon Hunter Scroll of Town Portal to head back home, but it's going to be a day late and $1 short as the Demon Hunter tries to focus down the units here. All right, let's take a look at this. Demon Hunter still down to 500 hit points, 200 hit points. You should be using the health stone. There you go, finally using it there. And all right, is the Demon Hunter actually doing a fair bit of damage? Yes, he is, but it's 22 over 80 supply now compared to 56 over 70. Nicker is really just overestimating his chances right now, not realizing that once this Rock Golem falls, he pretty much has no answer to what his opponent is doing. The Frost Worms, I believe, are... Nope, there's an Obsidian Statue. There is a ward. Where are those Frost Worms? Did they get taken down earlier? I believe they were taken down. However, I don't know if a hero was actually out in play to get or benefit from any of the experience. Oh, there they are. There's the Frost Worms right there. Once again, taken down. And let's continue to move forward with this army. Frost Worms still flying laps around the map, hoping to take down individual units. Death Knight at level 5. Nagasivich at 4. Lich is at 4 as well. Robe of Magi, Orb of Corruption, Claws of Attack plus 9. That is plus 20 attack on a Lich, who also gives you minus 5 armor. Talk about just increasing the basic attacks of a non-attack damage hero, and now that Lich just so much stronger. I'm just gonna say, if the Demon Hunter had the Slippers of Agility, perhaps he would have absorbed enough damage so that he wouldn't have fallen earlier. Can't say 100% sure. He would have had 6% more hit points overall, or 6% effective hit points with regeneration. That could have come out to be a very big difference. Demon Hunter currently alive and well. Panda will be coming out and be alive and well as well, but this is not looking good at all. All right, taking down some of those critters. we are down to, well, we are not down to anything. There's still plenty of gold in the gold mines as we're looking at the Death Knight waiting to just really get back his mana, already up to 200. Meanwhile, the destroyers, the obsidian statues, all of them with those having a fair bit of mana, and now going after some more creep camps. The Death Knight really shouldn't even be in this party, as the Naga Sea Witch and the Lich should both be getting closer and closer to 5 at this point. This is going to be what I believe will be the final battle. I think Nicker can see the writing on the wall. There's not much that can be done, as we see, oh, what was this? A burrowed Crypt Fiend ends up surviving. Hippogriffs rushing in to take down one Frostworm already. There it goes. A second Frostworm could get taken down. Oh, there's a Fork Lightning right there. It doesn't look like there's going to be enough Hippogriffs to poke apart at the remaining units. There goes another unit there. A little bit of just A for effort coming in from Nicker, as a mana burn now goes down on the Lich as well. No, the amount of focus fire. Hold on, that Lich still with plenty of mana could get down another Frost Nova pretty quickly. There you see it. And once all of those units are just constantly taking frost damage, there's not much that can be done. Death Knight still somehow surviving. It is a bad time to be an air unit right now, as the Demon Hunter gets up to level 5. All right, continuing the fight, going after all of those units there. Demon Hunter, however, now taking the brunt of the damage, and there is the GG. WFZ takes this series 2-1. I would have loved to cast Game 2 on Echo Isle with Nicker beating WFZ. Unfortunately, I don't have that map. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.